Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to insert your nav bar. Now, first thing I want to do is I'm going to come into my code, and I can see that right now I've built my header. And I want my nav bar to come after my header. So I'm going to go and place my cursor in my code where I want my navigation bar to be. I'm going to hit return. I find it's easier to start a tag on a new line. Just when you have to go back and read it, it just makes everything easier. Excellent. So now I am ready to insert my navigation bar. I come to my insert window in Dreamweaver. If you do not see it, just come to window, make sure that it's checked. And I'm going to use the navigation tag. I could also build this with a div tag if I'd like to, but I'm going to use the navigation tag. I click navigation, and now at insertion point, this will be wherever the cursor is, so it's set. I could also say after tag, and it's after the header tag. That's exactly where it is. I want a new CSS rule, and I want it to be an ID because I'm only going to have one of them on the page, and I'm going to name it navbar. I want to attach it to the .css page that I've created for this document, for this website. I'm going to hit OK. I come on in. I'm going to choose my font family. I'm going to choose one that has Helvetica in it. I'm going to choose a font size. I'm going to put it at 36. Again, I can change it when I'd like to. I also have a text color that I want to use, and I have it in my sketch that I put together. It's 3340. I know this because when I built it in Photoshop, I specified and chose the font color, and it's the same font color that I have in the header. I'm going to come on in. I'm going to put my image in as a background. I'm going to browse. I'm going to find my image. I'm going to place my image on in. I do not want to repeat my image, so I'm going to put it at no repeat. I'm going to come to the box, and I'm going to set the size of the box. I'm going to set the width at 1900, the height at 180. Again, if I'd like to, I can change it. I'm going to come on into my margins. I want to center this, so I'm going to put the right auto, the left auto, and I'm going to add a tiny little bit of space from the top to the bottom. I'm going to set the padding. The padding will be the space inside of the box, and I'm going to point it out to you once it's inserted and you visually see it on the page. I have it all built, the CSS all set, and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit OK, and I have my nav bar. Now let's take a look at our CSS. We can look at our CSS in two ways. We can go to coffeeshop.css, and I can see that this is all the CSS that I wrote. I see hashtag navbar, my opening bracket, and I see my closing bracket at the bottom. And I can see all of these different things that I set are all written out here for me to view. Now in Dreamweaver, we say Dreamweaver is WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So I could come on in here and I could start working with the font. Oops. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to go back to the source code. And sometimes it's a little bit easier to come on into the code and delete out what's in here. And I'm going to start to type. I'm going to write the nav bar pieces that I want. I have home, and then I'm using a pike. I have menu. My next piece is going to be location. And my last piece will be contact. Okay, there we have it. Now I want to move this around a little bit, and I want to work with the padding a little bit more. So what I can do here is I could come in here and I could start to increase it. And really it's at the top. I want it to come down a little bit from the top. So check this out. As I start to increase the padding, see what happens? The font starts to move down. Now another piece happens though. The box gets larger. Okay, so when you add padding, it also increases the size of the box around it. So really we can say that, and these were all locked, so they all went to 53. Okay, I could unlock them and change it that way, right? Because the sides might work okay, not being at 53, right? So I'm going to put the sides back at 10. Okay, all right, I want to unlock this. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now I want to also bring the bottom up. I don't want that bottom all the way down there, so let me unlock it again. Okay, it's locked. I need to keep figuring out if it's locked or not. All right, I can see it coming on in. Excellent. Wonderful. All right, so now if I want to even, move this over a little bit more, how do I go about doing that? Well, I could also center this onto the board in front of me. And I could go about doing that, and I could even put more space in between the letters. So how could I go about doing that? Well, I could come on in, I could go to Window, I could go to my Properties bar. I'm going to come to my Properties bar. I can come on in over here, and I'm going to go to the CSS, and I know that I am at the rule for Navbar, right? I could edit the rule, and what's great when you do that too is see how you get this one back as well, and you can go through and work with that window, which is really awesome. But what I'm going to do is right on here I have the center, so I'm going to hit center, and now I have this centered. Do I like it so much? I might play around with the spacing a little bit more. I definitely want to work with the padding. And one more time, let's look at how we were able to do that. Again, we went to Properties, we went to Edit Rule, and now we can see it. So we can come on in and look at the box one more time and change things up. Now, I could change the height, right? I'm going to put the height to 100. I'm going to hit Apply. I'm going to see what it looks like. Perfect. Like that a lot better. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, let's take a look at how I would turn this into an active link. What I would do is I would come on in, I would highlight the word home, and I would come to HTML, and I am going to find the link. And here is where the link is. So I would say that the home actually will be the link page. So I'm going to say, I'm going to choose where it's going to go, and I'm going to click. It will be attached to the index page. Now it's an active link. Now, right now, these are the default colors for links. And in another video, I'll show you how to change the color of links. But we all have the experience of blue links. Let's say that I wanted to set a link for menu. I could do that as well. I would click and I would link it. So now the problem is that I haven't made the menu page yet. So it's not going to be, it's going to be a broken link, menu.html. Okay. I could come to locations, and I'm going to link it to a page, locations.html. I can come to contact, and I'm going to link it to a page called contact.html. All right. Again, these pages have not been created yet, so they will not be active links. But there we have it. There's our nav bar. Let's take a view of it, and then my next video, we'll take a look at how do we go about building the content bar beneath. Let's take a look. So we'll come to File. First of all, we're going to come to File, Save All. We're going to save all of them. And we're going to come to File, and we're going to say Preview in Browser. Let's choose Google Chrome. And here it is. Okay, so we can hover and we can see that we have these active links. I can click on home. Here I am at home. Now, when I click menu, it's going to go, the page isn't found because I haven't created that page yet. Same with locations, page wasn't found, and same with contact. We're moving along. Thanks so much for listening.